Welcome to AMS on the Air. I'm Dakota Smith.
I'm Jeff Rosenfeld.
And I am Irene Sands. We're here to podcast all things weather, water, and climate.
So welcome. We are doing AMS on the Air live, and it's AMS 2020 Centennial in Boston. That's where AMS is headquartered at. So we're really excited to be here. You can stop by. We are in the first level in the convention center. Come visit us. Come say hi. Come give us your suggestions. You can follow us all throughout this week, and of course always on social media, and you can get updates there. And we'll be recording interviews live.
Yeah.
They'll put it in the feed.
So around the lunchtime hour, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have 2 to 4 interviews. On Sunday, it's 12:45 to 1:45. Monday, it's 12:30 to 1:30. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, it's 12:15 to 1:15. And we'll have a variety of guests, and I'm really excited, and I think you guys are too.
Yeah, we're really easy to find. We're right near the registration desk practically. And so if you come by and you think of a question while we're interviewing somebody, let us know at the end of the interview. We'll probably have time to ask the question.
This is interactive.
Yeah, it's live interaction.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part about interviewing. We got so many really interesting people lined up to actually interview. It'll be fun not only to hear what they say, but just to get an overview of what's going on at the annual meeting, because I challenge anyone to try and figure out an overview of a meeting that's got, 2,792 last check.
Wow, you got the
presentations.
number.
Yeah, that's the number of talks, and then another 1,500 posters.
You have a note card. That's cheating.
No, I'm not cheating. I got this memorized.
We don't have prompts here, Jeff.
sorry to call you out there, Jeff.
Hey, but it's live. It's live. Hey, I did my homework. Let me just explain. This is, I've seen, only about 25 annual meetings, but I would say this is the most impressive one I've seen in terms of what's on offer. There's so many topics this year that are fresh or just rapidly emerging topics. There's so many topics that are amazingly insightful, sort of overviews of history and what that means for us today. Lots of talk about future technology that's just completely changed in the last few years. I've never seen a program like this. There's so many sessions. It's annual meeting week when your calendar keeps saying, but no, you have a commitment at that hour. Like, no, just shove it in there anyway, because I want 7, 8 appointments at the same time. There's going to be a lot of people to see, a lot of people to talk to, but just listening to what's going on is going to be really, really impressive. And if you're not at the annual meeting, you can hear a little bit about it, a taste of sort of the breadth of topics in our interviews, I hope, and then go listen to the presentations when they're online a few weeks later. That's another great service AMS provides. But if you're here, you're just going to be overwhelmed really fast, and it's going to feel great.
Yeah, so I'll comment on the stuff we're going to be publishing in the feed. Every day we'll basically put out the interviews that we did, basically unedited. It's going to be pretty raw. It's sort of different than what we've done in the past, where it's been, pretty edited. And then we're also going to be doing some long-form interviews, sort of behind the scenes, that will also be in the feed later this year, sort of what we've done in the past. So we're doing a lot this year. Probably the biggest we've done for podcasting at AMS, and it's really exciting. And hopefully we'll have voices by the end of the week.
You'll hear the sound effects in the backgrounds.
Yeah, there's a dog walking by.
There's a dog walking by. There's some beeping, perhaps. But, hey, we're all here in good faith, and we're all here to learn from each other and just to put our best effort to keep advancing the science.
One of the ways AMS is advancing the science, actually, is not only are we bringing dogs to the conference, but we're bringing cats this year for the first time. So if you don't know what an AMS cat is, that's another reason to look for the AMS cat ribbons and ask them, why are you a cat?
Is this real? Because
this is real. It's totally real. The AMS cat.
Like a category? Category?
I want to be a cat.
No?
You want to be a cat 6.
I just want to be a cat.
It's not a hurricane then. Don't start with that.
No PTSD.
Okay.
Yeah. Calm down. No, AMS has a new cat program. So
Cat problem.
Certified AMS teacher.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
So watch for their ribbons. But only listeners of the podcast know that now. So
this is breaking news for me. This was nice.
It's exciting, and it's about time, because teachers have been one of the most exciting parts of the AMS meeting for many, many years. In fact, I remember the first year that the teachers were introduced into the structure of the meeting and had their conferences here, and people were just wowed by how enthusiastic they are. They're still amazing. And we've got Weatherfest this year again on Sunday.
Love Weatherfest.
Yeah, people are going to be coming in from all over the Boston area, and a lot of the teachers take part in that. And they're going to do live demonstrations of various ways they teach. Instead of having regular talks, they're going to have a session where they just flat out show what they do in the classroom. So
That's the best way.
those are the cats, but you got to be certified to be a cat. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So certified cats.
We've got a lot of acronyms this week, actually. So
Oh,
part of
yeah.
the fun of going through the program is just figuring out what all those acronyms mean. A lot of new ones, especially with the machine learning, big data. I think I've learned quite a few acronyms going through the program this year that I didn't know. So
It's not meteorology if there's not an acronym.
you are right.
One acronym that I think we have to bring up is LYNX.
Well, hold on a second. We were talking about cats, right? So now you're saying links. You mean like LYNX?
So not a feline, no, LINKS. It's the theme of AMS 2020. The full theme is the AMS past, present, and future, linking information to knowledge to society. So we have to mention that, the theme.
Our president, Jenny Evans, came up with that, I'm pretty sure. And if she didn't, she's responsible for making sure it's our acronym because it's pretty cool. And every year, this is another thing. Every year, of course, there is some sort of theme for the annual meeting. And it's always hard to say exactly if every paper or presentation fits it. It doesn't really matter. But this is pretty broad and all-encompassing. But because it's a centennial meeting, like this is the 100th meeting, right? So
That's crazy.
makes you feel old, doesn't
That's
it? Right?
crazy.
Makes AMS feel old.
Yeah, not me.
And young. I'm gonna say to feel so young and be so old is pretty cool. Huh? I think the acronym past, present, future, and then the acronym for the subtitle of that theme talks a lot to not only linking what researchers are doing to what society is benefiting from. And in fact, I just put a plug, there was actually a presentation on Monday about this whole question of what's the value of knowledge and what research gives us. And the value, according to that presentation, is about what people do with the information in society. So, if it's not actionable information, some people would consider it not valuable. But anyway, that's an aside. I think that the idea of linking across from research all the way to society is the same way we're linking from past to future all at the same time. So it's a very centennial appropriate theme.
So that brings up a good point. I'm gonna ask the question, and then I'll answer it myself, so I can give you guys some time to respond. If there's one talk that you're most excited for at AMS 2020, what is it? So I'll go first to give you a little time to think about it. And Jeff, I'm sort of you recommend this to me, and it's my talk now. So this
Pick
talk
another one.
is on Wednesday at 9 a.m. The title is "What Follows Goes R." I am addicted to satellite imagery.
Oh, we know.
I make satellite loops basically all the time, 24/7, whatever. When I'm not on my downtime, that's what I do. And so I haven't even thought about this just because we're getting used to the resolution that we have now. And when Jeff told me about this talk, I was like, oh my gosh, what is next? Like what? It's hard to fathom what more we could add, even though there is so much more we can add to the science. So that's my talk. It's it's on Wednesday at 9 a.m. and I'm really excited
So
for it.
do you know what's next? What
No,
would you
I have
like
no
to
idea.
see? What would you like to see next? Have you ever even imagined or thought about
I don't know if they
if
could
you could
get.
have anything on a satellite? What would you have?
I think maybe if they can add a dimension to it, because right now it's 2D. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't even how would you do that? You'd probably need multiple satellites at different
Do a
angles.
3D look.
Yeah, I mean they have some techniques
Yeah.
to make it 3D-ish, but
Real 3D.
yeah. So I don't. The lightning stuff. It's probably honestly something that's probably going to be next is a feature that will measure that we didn't think about because
Yeah.
lightning was a big addition. The geostationary lightning mapper was a huge addition to GOES-R, the GOES-R suite.
Says so much, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously we got the 1 minute data now. So maybe just higher resolution. Maybe we can get 30-second data right now when we combine both satellites, GOES 16 and 17. But maybe second imagery. Could you imagine looking at? I'm not sure how much value that adds to the science. I actually don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it
For your
doesn't.
gifts. right? Or
But it
GIFs.
makes the GIFs better. I need Twitter to increase their limit. Their size
There's a
limit.
real reason. So
Dakota's.
280 characters and 25 gigabytes per image. Or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's 15 megabytes right now. It's just not enough.
I'm personally looking forward a lot to the space weather conference. I mean, I work for a Central Florida news station, so space weather, think about how that can affect us all. And I don't really think about it that much, but when I do, it's kind of like, it can affect everything that we do. It can affect our communications. It can affect your gifts. It can affect the satellite. So space weather just has me so intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an astronaut, but also if you live on Earth.
Earth, yes,
Just living on Earth.
And all everything that we don't know yet.
Yeah. When you mentioned the satellite, what's coming next, and it goes geostationary. This isn't really strictly related or limited to geostationary, but one of the things that looks really intriguing with the whole suite of satellites is all these CubeSats that are now proving themselves in a lot of the talks this week, just about how good are they and can they replace some of the or augment some of the instruments that are already up on the bigger platforms. I like the idea that satellites can become adaptive observing systems, where like you get that resolution you're talking about, that on the higher temporal or higher spatial resolution when you need it, and you can move satellites around somehow and control them in different ways so that you can swarm them where you need them when you need them, as opposed to just something like that.
Or
That's
keep
what
them
I would
safe.
see.
That sounds
Yeah.
like something out of a Marvel movie.
I
Yeah.
know. Well,
Like Iron Man changing his satellites to.
I just like the idea that they could do so much more. If you can have 3 or 4 satellites that do the same thing
Mhm.
at the same time, then you can move them around different places in different ways, different orbits. I know that kind of thing sounds cool, but anyway, I'm just guessing. I just think that what's really going to be interesting about it is they're not going to be talking about just the same old kinds of satellites, but lots of little satellites augmenting big satellites and working together in a networked kind of way. So that I'm really looking forward to that presentation, like you said. I'm also there's some really interesting ones about communicating about climate science that sound really interesting, about building bridges between people who use climate information and people who produce it. I'm really excited about the whole attribution community and what they can do to figure out how much climate change is a part of the causes of various events, and especially extremes like hurricanes and things, which right now is really a tough one. But there have been new papers that are sort of edging in that direction. So the idea that you can do that kind of work, like modeling studies like that a week after the event instead of, or during the event even, instead of waiting months for the results. So those kinds of things look interesting. And I'm also, I'm really interested too in this idea that in the hydrological community, when you're managing rivers and dams, especially out in the West Coast, but just all in all, instead of trying to manage them based on the information of, say, how much water is in the reservoir or maybe how much snow just fell and when it's going to melt, actually start talking about managing them on the basis of forecasts that go out. And one of the things that's really intriguing this week, I think, is there are papers about decadal forecasts. On many more papers on that than I thought. In the past, you might see it sort of brought up and dismissed. Now there are a lot of serious papers on what's the decadal forecast going to look like and who needs it and how we're going to develop it. Mind-blowing stuff. And I think a lot of that has to do with whether machine learning can get there faster than modeling can get there. And that's another theme this year that's just amazing, how many places where researchers are finding that machine learning can do the job instead of a physical model. So I may be stating that a little bit incorrectly, but the gist of it is still pretty mind-blowing to me. Yeah.
So one thing I'll mention that I'm excited for, it's not a particular talk, it's the poster sessions. The student one is tomorrow, I believe, late afternoon,
Sunday?
early evening. Yeah, sorry, Sunday, I should say Sunday. And then throughout the week, they'll have poster sessions basically every evening, sort of late afternoon. And don't hold me to this, but I'm going to try to go around and record some interviews with people presenting their posters, sort of ambush them while they're giving their presentations.
Well, don't give it away now.
And sorry, yeah.
Some ambush.
I'm just trying to tease. Oh, yeah, I guess if you're listening now, watch out. I'm out there. Could be coming for you.
He'll find you.
But hopefully we can turn that into something for those that either missed a session that they wanted to go to, missed a poster, couldn't find it, or are not at the meeting, to bring you some of that research as well, because there's so much. I mean, there's just hundreds of posters, and it's just so many interesting things going on. It's impossible to get to all of them or even half of them. So yeah, poster sessions.
So what's the latest number in the attendance for this conference?
Oh yeah, we're edging well over 5,000. I think we're going to hit 6,000, frankly. But maybe I'm an optimist.
That's good.
That's like 2,000, almost 2,000 more than our previous record.
Yeah.
So we're just hopping with people here, and that just means more presentations. But it also means the most important part of the whole meeting is not going to the presentations. Ironically, after all that talking, sorry to disappoint you. The most important thing in the whole meeting, other than the fact that committees are getting together and talking about really interesting things in smaller rooms, I just think bumping into people in the hallway, talking to people who are looking at the same poster and asking them questions, finding out what's going on, how you can collaborate with people, where the jobs are, where the fun topics are, where the opportunities are. That's and just catching up with friends, right? I mean, you guys have lots of friends, I know, because you keep bumping into people and then you don't even say hello. You walk right by me. No, you're busy, right? And you're busy with talking to friends. Yeah. So that's really what this week is for. It's big reunion.
And that's a wonderful part about this conferences. I love coming to conferences, the broadcasting conference, the annual conference. It's just you can make so many new connections. You can reinforce the connections you had. You already have. I mean, you learn so much, and it can be from a hallway talk. It doesn't have to be from a presentation. So if you're not here, just get on the social aspect. Hashtag AMS 2020. You can find a lot of what's going on there, and yes, the presentations will be recorded. So that's a wonderful part. Keep your carbon footprint low too.
You know, now that I think of it, this podcast wouldn't have happened without the conference, because I met both of you at AMS. I don't know which one, Seattle, I think.
Seattle,
maybe.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember I sat next to you at some random dinner.
Oh, it wasn't random. It was prearranged.
It was arranged. But I had no idea, what you look like or anything. So I was like, you know what? AMS should have a podcast. I'm pretty sure that was exactly what I said.
That was exactly it.
Yeah.
And I said, who are you?
And why do you have so much hair? Yeah.
But that also didn't happen at the conference itself, right? We were at a restaurant where a bunch of people had gotten together and said, let's go out and get together. And that's another thing. Like, this whole neighborhood, whether they like it or not,
we're here.
We're here. You cannolis, keep your heads up.
So starting Sunday, January 12th, you can watch out for interviews and get those notifications turned on your phone, so you can listen to them right away, or listen to them when you're heading back to your hotel room, or if you're trying to just catch up with everything that's going on here among 6,000 people.
And then after the conference, we'll have so much content to share with you all. It's sort of daunting, but it's very exciting at the same time. So.
And it'll keep coming across the year too.
It will.
Not just this week.
It will. Yeah. All right.
And so I'm Jeff Rosenfeld.
I'm Dakota Smith.
And I am Irene Sands.
Happy weather conferencing.
Happy weather.